Many years ago, on our way home, my daughter asked, "Why does the moon follow us home?" At the time, I was a young mother and a relatively new teacher, and I began to answer with science. Refraction, distance, orbit. But Kaylee interrupted me, and she said, "I think the moon really loves us." And that moment stopped me, because she wasn't expecting me to provide an answer. She was offering me a theory. She was gently, poetically testing her world with curiosity and with courage. And that made me wonder, what if we all saw children not as incomplete adults, but as full human beings, as strong, competent, and innately intelligent? And what if school wasn't about pouring information into them, but was about walking alongside them as they ask the world their questions, test their hypotheses, and construct solutions to problems that really matter? In many traditional settings, the child is seen as passive, someone to be taught, corrected, managed. Facts are drilled, compliance is rewarded. Answers are given to questions children haven't even asked. We reward the one right answer instead of challenging children to find multiple paths to many right answers. We rush past the questions children are truly pondering and leave little space or time for their innate drive to research and to socially construct knowledge. We ignore whether the content is even relevant to the child, and we underestimate their voice in inciting change. We measure kids by what they can recite, not by what they wonder, not by how they think, strategize, or build understanding. But here's the truth. Children are already researchers. They are born asking, experimenting, and building theory. Their questions come rapid fire when they're very young. Why is the sky blue? Do flower petals keep ladybugs dry in the rain? Are fairies fat? Do grasshoppers know how to read? They inherently know that there is magic to be found in a puddle, that there is wisdom in the wind, and there is friendship to be enjoyed in a field of flowers. The traditional image of the child, an empty vessel, needing to be filled, waiting for our permission or our direction to learn, isn't just outdated. It's untrue, and it's unfair. So I offer an alternate image. Imagine the child as a scientist, a poet, a philosopher, an innovator, someone who arrives with imagination, creativity, and a competence to construct knowledge through experience. A human who strives to make meaning of the world around them. Then, reimagine school, not as a place of answers, but as a place of research, where the hand and mind work in unison, where the cognitive and the creative intelligences flourish, where educators are facilitators, designers, and co-researchers, where the curriculum is alive, flexible, and responsive to the passions and the inquiries of the students themselves. A place where rigor isn't about memorization. It's about effectively using one's voice and choice. It's about embracing challenge, igniting adventure, constructing, and then applying knowledge, about identifying a need and provoking change, about managing complex projects and making the thinking visible. I've watched infants and toddlers uncover Newton's laws of motion or test the physics of color, light, and shadow. I've seen kindergarten and first graders build a website to launch a national kindness campaign. I've watched second and third graders use biomimicry to design cancer-curing nanotech and pitch it to a Shark Tank. And I've walked alongside fourth and fifth graders as they understood the power of their individual and collective voice as they plan and host a TEDx conference where they themselves are the speakers that talk about transforming their future. I've heard children say, after documenting this kind of learning, through photographs, video, painting, sculpture, song, poetry, and other narratives, wow, that was so cool, because they see themselves as thinkers, doers, and capable game changers. When we shift our image of the child and of school, everything changes. We slow down. We listen more, and we speak less. We let go of standardization, and we embrace exploration. We disrupt thinking, and we invite action. We design learning. We reflect, we adapt, and we respond. We make feedback a conversation, not a judgment. And we stop just asking, where's the standard? And start asking, where's the deep dive? We also ask new kinds of questions of students. What do you notice? What do you wonder? What most surprises you? Where do you see a problem? And who's most affected by it? How many solutions can you imagine? And who might benefit from them? Who would you like to work with? What resources do you need? And how can I help you find them? What's your theory? What's your strategy? How will you test that? What's your next prototype? How will you document your learning? And children rise to this occasion, not with perfection, but with process, with ideas, with theories, with dialogue, with disagreement, with feedback, with prototype, with revision, with innovation, and with joy, always with joy. It's messy, it's complex, but it's alive, and it's real learning. It honors children by sidestepping tedium, banality, and mediocrity. In this kind of environment, children develop more than just knowledge. They develop critical thinking, creativity, agility, resilience, and bold courage. They learn how to learn. And they don't just learn about the world. They become empowered to change it. So what's our role as adults? How do we reimagine that? Well, it's not to deliver knowledge, but to inspire inquiry. It's not to follow a script, but to design powerful and transformative experiences. It's not to ask the child, what did you learn today? But to ask the child, what questions are you sitting with today? It's not to provide all the answers, but to help children find their next questions. It's to be brave enough to sit in the uncertainty and to navigate ambiguity. It's to trust that the child's thinking, no matter how messy, holds great value. It's to find 1,000 possibilities to say we can if, and very few to say we can't because. We are not the gatekeepers of knowledge. We're the gardeners of curiosity, intrinsic motivation, and full engagement. We create rich environments full of intelligent materials. We provide time, and we invite possibility. We observe, and we document. We create a culture where children grow up knowing that their ideas really matter and that knowledge is not to be consumed, but co-constructed. And most of all, we get out of the way and we truly believe in the child and their capacity. So I'll end where I began, with the moon. What if we stopped trying to provide all the answers and instead walked alongside children as they asked the world their questions again and again and again, such as, why does the moon follow us home? And what if school was a place that didn't dismiss questions, but invited them, investigated them, celebrated them, and then harnessed them? And what if we imagined the child not as someone waiting to be intelligent, but as someone who already is? Because when we do that, we don't just change education, we change the future. A child who is seen as capable becomes an adult who knows they matter, an adult who is empowered and compelled to make a difference. And maybe, just maybe, that is what the moon sees, and that is why it follows us home. Thank you.